guys, welcome to Super Sis Sharing Untold Secret. And now we are going to talk about Christmas with my special guest, Calvin Rainuny. Welcome, Calvin. All right, welcome to Super Sis. Okay.
Hello.
Hi. So, Merry Christmas in advance, Calvin.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So, we're going to talk about something currently happening in Molucass,
What is this?
which is Christmas. And if we talk about Christmas, we talk about something, a figure in Christmas, which people expected for, which people waiting for, looking forward to, which is Santa Claus.
Santa.
Merry Christmas.
Again.
And then there are several issues, stories, and facts that we are going to discuss together. And I think the first is that we're going to talk about the experience from ourselves with Santa. So, have you ever met Santa Claus or having experience with Santa Claus?
So yeah, when I was a kid, my parents ordered Santa Claus and the gang 3 times. So they came in my house when I was a kid.
Okay.
I have a picture with them.
Okay, you can show to
Yeah, yeah.
the audience. Feel free.
Wait a second.
You wanna see it? Yes, I want to see. Ooh, kind of cool, right?
Yeah,
And
you can see the Santa looks so old,
Okay.
but so good, and the fairy
yeah.
so kind.
Okay.
So I just remember them because I think this Santa and the gang, they are different between the other Santa when I was kids. Why I can say the difference? Because this Santa, when they came in my house, they are so kind, they're so good to me. They talk with a good voice, with a low voice. They didn't mad at me. They didn't say a bad word to me. They just came in me and talked to me with a kind voice, and I'm so happy with that. So when the Santa came in my house,
Okay.
they just came, and then the fairy just came too. But the sort of pit and the clown, they just wait in the outside. And then the Santa and the fairy just came in my house. They enter my house and they just talk to me. And after they talk to me, they brought a present to me, like the picture. You can saw the present in the picture. And after that, they just take a picture with me. So they didn't make a drama issue, or they made a story and angry at me and make me crying. They just came, talk, give a present, and they give me a lot of snacks. And I like the snacks, especially the Ultra. You know, Ultra because so good. We didn't get sponsored with Ultra, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
We hope so.
So Ultra. And after that, when I grow up, I just realized that the present I get from every Santa that came in my house, the present is from my parents. So I kind of disappointed, but I'm also happy because I have a good experience with this Santa.
Okay. So you've talked about your experience, and have you ever know the true facts about Santa Claus, right?
But Santa Claus,
Yeah. So
I didn't know Santa Claus.
So it is an interesting fact. So the origin story of Santa Claus comes from an old saints.
Oh, kind
in
of look
Roman,
like
yeah, Roman, okay.
Catholic name.
Catholic name. So the saint named Nicholas. So it refers to Claus, Nicolaus.
Oh.
And then there is a person named Swarpit, refers to Santa Pit. So this is the true story. So Santa Claus is a good old man who always gives gift or present to children every upcoming Christmas.
Oh.
And then alongside with Santa Claus, Santa Pete or Sweater Pete becomes his assistant. He always supports or assists Santa Claus in Santa Claus duty. So this is the true story of Santa Claus and Santa Pete.
Oh.
But then it becomes very popular and widely spread in the world. And as you can see, there is a huge, famous existence of Santa Claus.
You believe about that story?
I believe, I totally believe. And
That's
then-
kind of interesting
yeah,
to me.
but as time flies, it turns out that there is a slight, no slight, but there is a huge difference between the origin Santa and then the modern Santa right now.
Modern Santa?
Yeah, if we talk about Santa in Molucass, it is a huge difference. So,
Okay, I get
so
I get it.
as you can notice that Santa Claus in Molucass, they add like several figures alongside with Santa, and then Sweater Pit becomes 180 degrees totally different with the origin Sweater Pit in Western country. So Sweater Pit in Western country always behave well with children.
Yeah.
But in Molucass, Sweater Pit always behave bad with children.
Yeah,
They
always angry
always
with the
curse
children. Yeah.
and make children cry.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference between them. What about you? What is it?
Okay. Like you said before, I kind of interesting with the story that you said, Catholic, the Saint Nicholas,
Yeah, yeah.
and I remember yesterday I scrolled my TikTok,
Okay.
and I saw a content on my FYP.
Video or you can show to the
Yeah, the
audience.
picture video. I don't know what to say. Wait.
Hold on.
Wait a second.
Take your time. Take your time.
Nah.
Okay.
This is it. Okay. So, guys, you can see this. First of all, you can see the Sweater Pit and the leader of the Pope.
The Pope.
The Pope. I forgot his
Franciscus.
name. Franciscus. Okay, Franciscus.
Okay.
You can saw Sweater Pit with Franciscus, Pope Franciscus, and with Santa Claus.
Okay, I want to see it. Ooh.
Okay. So,
Okay.
because you said the story, like before, I remember this, and okay, I kind of believe with your
Okay.
fun fact, Santa Claus fun fact, like you said before, and then I realized there's the difference between
Okay.
Sweater Pits in this picture and in our
Culture?
Yeah, our
Okay.
culture in Molucass.
Okay.
The Sweater Pit just used a black dress, but the person didn't change his color skin.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So because of that, I think that if you want to be Sweater Pit, it doesn't mean that you need to change your color with the charcoal oil,
Okay.
and then make your skin looks black. I'm so sorry, guys.
Okay.
But the Sweater Pit, the original Sweater Pit, just use a black sweat. Yeah, the black sweat. And then after that, you can remember that there is the same property that Sweater Pit in this picture.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. The socks and the broom.
Yeah.
So I read several comments that they said that the reason why Sweater Pit brought the broom because he's proud of his family.
Oh.
His family is always swept the street with the broom.
Okay.
And the Saint Nicholas bring him to help Saint Nicholas to give a present to the kids. And the purpose of his socks is the Saint Nicholas put the presents in the socks. And then every time you want to put the presents, he just get from the Sweater Pit socks. But in Molucass, the purpose of the socks is different. And the socks and the broom, the socks, they always put the children into the socks. And then the broom, they use the broom to hit the children and make them crying. I don't know why they do that, but it kind of looks funny, but at the same time it looks scary.
It's different. It's very different right now.
Very different.
So, to be continued, we talk about Santa Claus and the gang.
Yeah.
So we have discussed about the Swatter Pit and Santa Claus, but as time flies, right now in the modern time, there is several figures, additional several figures in alongside with Santa Claus. You can name it like fairy, like
Yeah.
falak, like clown.
Wow. Yeah.
And then I want to discuss it with you. So I'm gonna start with I think I'm gonna start with clown.
Okay.
So
Let's talk
I
about
think
clown.
that clown, the origin story there is a clown, but people use clown I think to make it more funnier.
Yeah,
To make
because
it funnier.
clown purpose is to make children laugh, right?
Yeah. But I think that as long as it gives good impact for children, then no problem, right? But we have to consider that clown also have has scary story clowns, but as long as they give like good figure of clown, then it will be okay. What about you? What do you think about the fairy?
Okay, talk about the fairy. I kind of like the fairy because the
Yes,
fairy
they're so
looks beautiful.
beautiful. Okay,
Especially, I don't know why they name a good fairy and a bad fairy.
Okay.
I mean, like they just the same fairy with the good fairy with the beautiful fairy and the bad fairy with the kind of scared.
Okay.
And but I didn't get the true purpose of the fairy. I think maybe they just want to make a girl
Okay.
and the want happy with the fairy because every girl love the fairy, a beautiful woman, and they just want to put the fairy just like a good woman, prettiest woman, and after that they didn't have any good impact in the Santa Claus in the gang, and they just I think they just like NPC, just stand up and take photo, and then they just gonna fix their hair and take a good picture.
Okay, you've talked about the makeup.
Yeah.
I think there is a slight something interesting in makeup.
Yeah,
If you've noticed that the makeup of the most like clown, like Swatter Pit, like fairy,
yeah, fairy.
are more referred to Halloween. You notice that?
Yeah, I noticed that.
What about you? What do you think about that?
Yeah, like you said before, Swatter Pit, a clown and a fairy, especially Swatter Pit and the clown, they make like falak. First of all, I forgot about that, the falak, and then I forget his name, but the clown is from It. If you watch It in the movie, It is a clown. We call it like I forget his name. Oh, Pennywise.
Oh, yeah.
They get they change the clown makeup from the fun makeup into the
Scary one?
Yeah, scary one. And after that, they just make the makeup looks like Halloween. But I can say that I know that Christmas is after the Halloween, but they do that. They change the true meaning of the Christmas itself, and they just scare the children.
Okay, so it shouldn't be like that. Yeah, The makeup shouldn't be too scary, too much. If you talk about
They can make a good makeup, just like flawless makeup, and then they just make themselves look like a normal makeup without any additional makeup like falak.
Okay.
And then they use a blood in the face like a white, like it kind of looks scary.
Okay.
They can make it normal, and I believe that kids more like it.
Okay. So now we're going to talk about it. It's the topic is kind of tricky if we talk about. We talk about the impact or the results of the existence of Santa Claus and Swatter Pit and so on and so forth. So I think we both are gonna talk about this, and I'm gonna start with you. Do you have like real story of the impact of Santa Claus?
Okay, talk about real story.
Okay.
I have obviously I have my neighborhood. My neighborhood, she is an adult person.
Okay.
Even though she's an adult person, but she's still getting scared when she heard Santa Claus rings or bell.
Ring bell, yeah.
Yeah, ring bell. Like,
Oh yeah.
and every time she heard that ring bell, she want to saw the Santa Claus. But if we like want to make her like make her kind of look scared with the sweater pit, and we just like we will give you to the sweater pit. And
Oh, it gives flashback.
like kind of flashback to her, and then she crying and scream, like it's not like she scream and crying loud, and we like feel bad when we do that to her, because
Okay.
we bring a bad memories to
Okay.
her. And the other side, my neighborhood, see when he was a kid, when the Santa Claus came to his house, he so scared to the sweater pit, right? And every time the Santa Claus and sweater pit came to his house, he always go to his room and hide. But the sweater pit didn't want to lose him, so the sweater pit break the door, and want to catch him. And after that, the sweater pit just catch him and want to put him into the sacks, yeah. And we always making fun every time we saw my neighborhood, because he always scared, crying, and after he grow up, he realized that what he do is so annoying. And
So your story proves that there is a bad impact of Santa Claus sometimes, because it gives
traumatized memories. Bad
So
memories.
for my own opinion, I think that it's like double-edged sword. You can use swallow pit, the Molucass swallow pit, to make your children behave well.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, you have to consider about the impact itself. Like you said before, it can give like
Bad memories.
traumatic memory and like horrible impact to them. And I think that as long as the swallow pit didn't do too much like action for your children, then it's okay for them. But you have to be considerate about the impact, because we don't know the strength, the energy of the children, the way they take the behave of swallow pig.
Yeah.
So be careful about them. And then
agree with you.
now we are going to discuss several questions which have sent to our.
We have a
conversation.
question?
Yeah, we have question.
Can I ask?
And I think that it's going to be funnier. So the rule is that you're going to ask the first, and I'm gonna ask the second. And
I participate in this question. I want to ask you too.
So the first question is from Michelle. Michelle asked that Santa Claus even definitely require decoration and customs and even gifts. But do you think that this even can involve outside communities or sponsor, like they can get sponsor?
Talking about sponsor or communities, when we want to make Santa Claus in our own community, I think we didn't need any sponsors, because first, when we want to make something, we need a budget, we need a money. So I think every single communities, when they want to make a Santa Claus and the gang event, they will prepare well, they will prepare the money, so they didn't need a sponsor. If they need a sponsor, it kind of looks annoying to me, because imagine like you go with Santa Claus and then you saw Coca-Cola or Sprite in the car or in the motorcycle. It kind of looks weird, right? So I think they just need a well money, and they will prepare the money. So they didn't need any sponsor.
So the question is that I think you want to ask this, or
Obviously. That's the rule, right? You forgot the rule. Okay, the next question is from Shannon. Okay. She asked about, is this class Oh, no, no. Is this Santa Claus event something that is useful for the children? Does scaring children make them obedient and smart? Is it just part of the Christmas celebration? Because every event must have a certain purpose before the event is carried out.
Okay, so this is a interesting question, and I'm gonna ask this. I'm gonna answer this question. So, as I mentioned before, we talk about the impact. So parents think that to make their children behave well, they order Santa Claus and sweater pits to their children to teach them not to rebel to the parents and behave bad to the parents. And I think that as long as the children take the lesson from the sweater pit very well, I think that it's okay. But
Okay.
as you mentioned before, that there is several conditions where children couldn't get the moral lesson from the sweater pit and even think that sweater pit is a scary figure.
Yeah.
I think that parents should consider more about this. And I think that the origin story of Santa Claus is that Santa Claus comes in late evening, overnight, in the rooftop, and then through the rooftop and give the presents to the children. It is a beautiful action from Santa Claus. But if in the modern times, if you use sweater pit before Santa Claus and then you scare you threaten the children, I think that it depends, right? It depends on the way the children take the action of the sweater pit, and I think that as long as the children have enough energy to take this situation, then it will be okay. And I'm good with the Santa Claus who always teach the children to behave well to their children, because that's the Christmas should be, right?
Yeah.
Give joyful to the world,
Joyful.
joy to the world,
Yeah.
and I think that's my answer.
Okay.
And then I am with the second. The question is that what should be the role? No. You want to answer Tiara or Goya?
I think Fitra.
Oh, Fitra. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot about Fitra.
You forgot about him.
Why? So Fitra question is very important, and I think I'm gonna
Kind of tricky.
Why is Santa Claus is very iconic in Christian religion or
Christian. Okay. I think the reason why Santa Claus is more iconic in Christmas, especially for us as a Christian people, it's because, like you said before, the original story from Saint Nicholas and Sweater Pete, they came to the children's house and give the present to them. I think it's become something memorable to them.
Oh, yeah.
And time flying, they always remember that. They always share the story about that to every person they met, and then after that, by the way, I already saw several fun fact too.
you can share?
Yeah. So the story of Santa Claus is from a person from a Dutch. So this person came to American, USA, and he told about he I can say what he get when in Christmas Day, and then he talked to American people, and after that, American they want to feel that thing too, so they create a Santa Claus according to what the Dutch person says, and then after that, they make it viral, and then European people, they know about that. They do that in their own country, Asian too, Australian too. So because of that, from mouth to mouth, they make Santa Claus more iconic in Christmas Day.
Okay.
It has a same meaning or has the same story like in the Easter. Easter, like we know, Easter is more iconic. It's not only about Jesus die in the cross, but it's about eggs, the rabbit. They always pay. They always draw the eggs and the rabbit in the Easter day, and after that, because of that, it's not about Christian, but it's more about figure too. So it's not only about Jesus born in the Christmas day, but it's also about Santa Claus give a joyful to the world in the Christmas day. So it make it Santa more iconic in Christmas Day and for Christian people. Next question for me. So I would ask the question from Tiara. So Tiara asked about how does Santa Claus reflect the social and cultural values of Western society, and how is it different from Eastern societies such as in Indonesia?
So I think that the value it's more like the same. The meaning is to teach children behave well. But I think as Swatter Pit, turns out in the different action in Molucass and in Western, Swatter Pit in Molucass like threaten, sorry about the outside. I'm sorry about the outside. Okay. Yeah, so go back to that topic. So I think that the value is supposed to be the same. And then if you talk about Christmas in Molucass and Christmas in Europe, Christmas in Molucass shouldn't be that too much for children. They shouldn't threaten children with sweater pit and so on and so forth. And I think that the meaning of Christmas shouldn't be different, right? Right now, people always want them to welcome Santa Claus more than Jesus.
I agree with you.
And then I think that's a bad.
They just remember about Santa Claus, not the Jesus.
The main icon of Christmas supposed to be Jesus.
Yeah,
Not the Santa Claus. So the lesson is that spread gospel, spread the good information about Jesus. Not only talk about Swatter Pit, not only talk about Santa Claus, but it should be about we spread the gospel to the children. Talk to them that they should, reliable themselves on the Christ. So that's the value I think from the Western and from.
So I think parents need more talking about Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus. When in Christmas Day, how Jesus born.
How this born.
Yeah.
How to care. Okay. So next question from Goya.
Oh yeah.
So there's a trick. You want to answer 1 and 2? Or only 1?
I think the second question.
Oh, you want to ask answer the second question.
Yeah.
So the second question is that what is the influence of Santa Claus on Molucass culture?
What?
What is the influence?
Santa Claus in the
Molucass.
The influence from Santa Claus in Molucass, I think it's because several parents they can teach their kids well, so they use Santa Claus, Swatter Pit, and the gang to make them kids more. I can say behave well and want to listen to them. So, fun fact: every parents when they want to order Santa Claus, they should share or they wrote several things or several bad things that they kids do.
List.
That list to the Santa Claus, and then after that, Santa Claus and the gang they will read that, and then when they came to the house, they will like say to the kids and then make the kids feel scared to them, and after that the kids know what they do is a bad thing and they will change it. But I think That's the single purpose or the main purpose of the Santa Claus in Molucass. But in that case, I think what they do is not a good thing because whoever parents who order the Santa Claus because they just want to make their kids become behave well, they shouldn't say like a parents because they can teach their own kids. They just want to make someone who the other person make them kids become a behave well. But in case after the Santa Claus not coming to them, the kids still become a bad person. So it's supposed to be the parents, their own parents, to teach them well to become someone who has a good behave or behave well to every person. So the next question is from Melvin.
Okay.
So Melvin asked about what is the actual function of sweater pit because it is very contrary to the activities of Santa Claus that we know.
Yeah. This is the differentiation because Sweater Pit that we know from the origin story are a good man
Yeah.
using sacks and broom to represent his family, to always assist Santa Claus during his duty to spread good presents to children. But in Moluccas, it differs. It's different. You
160 degrees, right?
160 degrees.
Wow.
Sweater Pit comes to the house and then
Yell to the
speak
kids.
loud
Yeah.
and yell and yapping and make the children scary and even crying.
Yeah.
And often give traumatized
memory.
memory. I think it gives bad impact to the community in Moluccas. Like they always wonder if in this case to always scare the children. So what is the purpose of Sweater Pit? And I think that because of the different behavior of Sweater Pit, it gives bad concept in Moluccan people that I think Sweater Pit isn't. They shouldn't be like that, because they didn't like behave well to the children. Instead, they behave bad. They give terrible effects to children. So I think that to know the meaning of Sweater Pit, you have to go back to the origin story of the Sweater Pit itself, which is a good thing.
By the way, about sweater pit, not only they came to the kids, but if you saw several content, you can notice that they some Santa Claus they came to an old person, like their grandfather, and then they just make them grandfathers feel scared. I don't know why they all the Santa Claus to an old person, and not only for the human, for the dogs. Yeah, I saw that, and I thought, the dogs, what the dogs want to understand in this case, yeah, and they just waste their money.
Okay, that's so funny. And then from Trifosa.
Yeah.
So Trifosa asked about, do you think that this Santa Claus is a vision in terms of, funds and income, and then can the funds be returned?
Can I saw
You can see the question.
Do you think this Santa Claus is efficient in
Okay.
terms of par? What that means? Funds with a good result. Income to some communities. I think if you want to create Santa Claus in your communities with your friends or with your group, I think you need more income or you need more money, like we said before, because you need to buy several outfits, several makeup for Santa Claus, for the fairy, for the clown, for the sweater pit, for the Yeah, for the Fallout and Pennywise, okay, those scary people, why they came to Christmas. And then after that, I think we need more money when we want to create Santa Claus. But if we talk about what we get after we do that, I think it depends on how much you get. I mean, how much people order your Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And if you make your Santa Claus more effort, but just 5 person order your Santa Claus, you didn't get more income from that.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on how attractive your outfit, your Santa Claus outfit, and how you share your poster to the social media and make them interactive with your Santa Claus event.
I thought that the order is around 75,000 rupees.
Yeah,
It's like
it's so cheap. I think for me it's so cheap. 75 and 100.
I think
I think it can be more.
Check next page.
Okay, the last question. Oh, I asked the last question. I'm so lucky. Okay, the last question is from Fiela Sekawayo. Okay, Ella Sekawayo, an ambitious person from class B. I know her. So, do you think that the Santa Claus event, especially the one where Swatter Pit do harsh things to kids, affect kids' mental health growing up? As someone who opposes the Santa Claus event, I want to know how can we effectively inform the risky parents about the potential negative effects on their children's mental health, especially regarding to harsh behavior displayed by Swatter Pits towards the kids.
So can I see
You
the
want to
question?
saw the question?
So, how we inform? Okay. So, it is about information, and I think that I'm going to answer with your own story, your real story.
Yeah.
So, especially the one with, I think that Swatter Pit is very contrary to Santa Claus in Molucass tradition or culture. In Western, they are the same. They do well to children, but in Molucass, Santa Claus behave well to children and Swatter Pit behave bad to children. And I think that with this case, Swatter Pit can get traumatized, can get traumatic memory to children. And yeah, the proof is from your neighbor. And I think that to inform the parents, I think parents should know the detail of their children. Can their children take the lesson from the Swatter Pit, or it turns out it makes their children like traumatized, and they always thinking about Swatter Pit, the scary one for their lifetime.
Yeah, their makeup.
And they couldn't move on from Swatter Pit. And I think that students should consider and should ponder about the effect. And I think that it depends. As long as you see the Swatter Pit didn't do too much for your children, it will be okay. So we have discussed about all the questions from our
we done.
viewers. And then thank you, Calvin. Thank you very much for your
Don't forget to say thank you for
attendance.
that.
Thank you for Tiara, for Goya, for Melvin, from Trifosa, from Ella, from Fitra. We appreciate your question, and thank you very much, Calvin,
Yeah, thank you.
for coming.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas in advance, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Hope you get a better Christmas in
Okay, I
this December.
So that's all. And don't forget to subscribe and comment if you have any question. Superstitious, secret, untold sharing. Thank you, Calvin.
Thank you. See you.